Hi there, and welcome to our final video on our van conversion. So we've now finished the conversion, maybe a couple of little bits just to touch up, but the bulk of the work is now done. It's ready to use, so I'll give you a quick tour now. So starting in the front, we've got our thermal blinds across the windscreen and in each window and the quarter light. And then to the back, I think I showed this in an earlier video, we've got the Van Gear nano pod that's now fixed to the floor. We've also got our battery powered tap as well, so that just charges via USB, and then that will pump the water from the clean water bottle down in the bottom here. That is the controller for our LED lights in the ceiling, and then we've also got a fridge over here. So nice little fridge, I think it's about 12.8 litre fridge I think we went for, so that's pretty handy. We've tried that a couple of times just off the mains just to test that it works. So this does go down below 0, so it does get really cold, and then we've got a little magnetic latch on these doors, and then we've got a little cupboard which houses some of our bits and pieces, and also the Thetford porta potty that we've got in there, so there's enough space to get that out. It is quite tight in here. Originally this door was one door, but because of the space I've had to cut it in half just to be able to open those doors, but that's not an issue there. So then we've got the bed here. Went for the sideways bed. As I said before, we wanted a permanent bed rather than one of the rock and roll beds that you have to keep pulling out each night and making up. It's also given us quite a bit of storage, which I'll show you in a minute. So power is from the Bluetti Apex 300. We've got the Hub D one as well connected to this, which gives us the DC power for the lights, the fridge, and these two sockets here. So we've got a 12 volt socket which we'll use for the sup pump, and then USB, both types as well, so there is USB-C there as well. There was a slight issue with the location of the Bluetti, so originally I'd centered it all, but the plug on the Hub D one is really big. It was bigger than I'd recalled, and it was catching on the wheel arch woodwork, the boxing in, so we've had to move it slightly off centre and also raise it a little bit. So I mean, you can still get access to all the buttons on the screen, but I note for next time, if we replace this front panel, I need to shift that opening just so it's a little squarer with the controls and the screen. And then we've also got here a little folding shelf as well, so we can pop our phones or camera batteries on there right next to the USB and get those charged. The bed, as I said, we went for the sideways bed, quite big, surprisingly big. Does fit 2 people in it. We have tried it slightly measurement wise, so because we've had to keep it above the vehicle to load socket, which is over in that back corner, we are now quite high. So I think I've got a little measuring device here. We are about 63 centimetres off the roof, so it is quite tight to get into, but there is enough sort of headroom for our height, and then width wise going across, so we are 1.64 m pretty much there, and then this side, because it's slightly narrow, 1.56 m, so it is slightly narrower there, but corner to corner that comes in at 1.81 m. So if you're on your own, you get a lot more space, and probably can be a bit taller. I'm only 1.69 m, I think, so we've got to curl up a little bit, but 5 centimetres isn't too bad. We're not staying here for weeks and months on end, so we can survive a couple of nights being a little bit curled up in here. So it's a nice size and just about works. I think if you were any taller, probably taller than 5'10", this probably setup wouldn't work unless you were on your own and you could sleep diagonally. But we will have a pop round to the back now, and this is where one of the benefits of having that sideways bed comes, because we now have a large amount of storage underneath. So we've got some boards separating the electrics at the back there, and all the wheel arches there covered as well. So a nice big storage space. I had to do the doors open into the middle rather than like the barn doors, mainly because of this bit here. There's quite a ridge there. This is quite a bulky arch as well, so we would have had to take quite a bit of a chunk out the door if we were opening the other way, so that this bit here wouldn't catch on there, and it probably wouldn't have looked that good when it was closed. So we decided to open into the middle, which has sort of solved that problem. And I mean, we've still got a good opening to get paddle boards, beach chairs, and whatever else into the back. So that concludes the quick tour of the van. So next thing is to go out and use it for a few trips and see how we get on. Just check that the layout and everything does actually work. When we actually use it, it looks as if it will, and it looks all right for me. So looking forward to getting out and about. The cost of the conversion I'm going to cover in another video, so stay tuned for that one. But if you've enjoyed this video, do hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to stay tuned for more videos.